Hello everyone, welcome. Today I have a very special video for you. We are going to build a complete Mendix application from an AI generated design all the way to a working app, and Gen AI is going to do almost all of the work. But before we build anything, let me show you what we are building. This is Claude Design, and this is Plant Asset Care, the app I designed for maintenance teams in a factory. Every machine on the floor is here, each with its own health score and live telemetry. And when something goes critical, like this drive at 38% health, it surfaces right at the top. This is the report, a fault screen. The technician picks the asset, selects the symptoms, vibration, overheating, noise, then adds a description, some evidence, and the live readings from the machine. And before submitting, they can ask Claude to analyze the fault. Every fault lands in the triage inbox. The leads queue, ordered by AI assessed severity. And here is my favorite part, the Claude analysis, probable root cause, recommended action, and a confidence score. Technicians follow their reports on the My Request screen, every fault they filed with its live workflow status. Approved work turns into a schedule, work orders with assigned technicians, and downtime windows, and each work order carries the full story. The timeline, the analysis, the readings. So that's the loop: report a fault, AI triage, approve, and schedule. So this is the design. And remember, none of this exists yet. It's just HTML that I designed in Claude Design. Today we are turning it into a real working Mendix application. So let's start. Here I have Studio Pro. This is 11.12. I'm going to create a new app starting from a blank web app. I'm going to call it Plant Asset. Then I pick the folder where the project is going to live on disk. Let's put it under projects. Everything else stays default. And I create the app. It's downloading the blank web app package, extracting it, and initializing the project for us. And here it is, a completely blank app. Everything we do next starts right here. So here is Studio Pro. First thing I want to do is exclude that folder. Second thing, I want to come here, go into my preferences in my project, go into AI, make sure that the MCP server for Maia is enabled so I can talk to it, 77182. Since that's in there, I'm going to go into the Mendix marketplace. And I'm going to search for terminal here. And this is Concord, what we're going to be using to build this full application today. I'm going to open Concord. Concord is an experimental extension that myself and a colleague called Kelly Seal built within the Center of Excellence for Mendix United States. So this is the details. Again, experimental, not part of the product, not supported. As you guys can see here, it's used a lot internally, right? Like it's very popular internally inside Mendix. I think this is the first public video going through how to use it, how to install it, and how to build using it. So I'm gonna come in here, download it, get it installed. Model gonna get installed. Once you install it, it places it in here inside the add-ons. And I can come in here and open it up. So I'm gonna come here and open it up, Concord. So here's Concord. So let's get continued here. Let me close the marketplace. Close this here. One thing that it's important when building is to keep Maia open, because as you will see, Concord will talk to Maia. So let's come here to extensions, open Concord. When you do that, it opens a terminal inside Studio Pro. That's what Concord is. It's not only a terminal. It allows you to come in here and you can run Claude, for example. They will trust this. I can run GitHub Copilot. You can run pretty much any CLI command that you want. And the first time you run, it's going to ask for permissions. Okay. And let's come in here and let's try Codex. An important notice, because Concord is experimental and it can make mistakes, right? Like GenAI is not perfect and it can cause trouble to your project. So if you're using a new project, that's not a big deal. But if you're starting from an existing project or you're trying to upgrade a project, always make sure that you have a backup before you start. Every time I work on an existing project, I do a backup of it first, and then I start using these tools, okay? Again, GenAI is not perfect today. Sometimes it makes mistakes. So it's important to have a backup of your project before you get started. But as you can see here, this is what Concord does. In here, it allows you to pick different shells, like I can use PowerShell, command prompt, whatever shell that I like. And if I have any issues connecting to the MCP, this might help you set those things up. Now that we are here, first thing I want to do is I want to check inside Claude. First, I'm going to close Copilot and Codex, not going to use it. And let's use Claude. I'm going to come here. The first thing I'm going to check is my MCPs. Always before you start, double check if Concord MCP is connected. Concord is the harness. It has skills, it has instructions, it has a communication path to Maia. It allows Claude Code to start Studio Pro, close Studio Pro, save your files. So make sure that it's connected. And the Studio Pro MCP, which is what we're going to be using to control Studio Pro. Something else that's extremely important and doesn't come with Concord, and I highly suggest you install, is the Playwright MCP. Playwright allows you to control the web browser. This is important because you want to close the loop, the agentic loop. And this agentic loop is Claude builds, Claude analyzes what you asked, tells Studio Pro how to build, Studio Pro builds, then you want to save, run, do the play. Then you want Claude to look what it built, look at the application running, see if it matches what it was trying to build, and if it doesn't, work on it and build it again, look at again. You want that loop, that repetition of planning, executing, analyze, checking what it was built, and then getting feedback and doing it over and over again, because that's the only way where you're going to get real world results with GenAI. If you come here and just make one question, GenAI won't come with a perfect solution for you. You need to iterate. You need to have it build, have it execute, have it look on what it built, check quality on what it built, see if it matches what you are asking for. And if not, keep doing that until it does. So that's why it's extremely important to have Playwright installed in here. Okay, so make sure you have that. And the same thing goes for Claude Code or Copilot. All of them has this pre-wired. That's what Concord is. It's a harness, right? Like it comes pre-configured to talk to Studio Pro, pre-configured to talk to Maia. It has the skills on how to handle things with Studio Pro. It has a lot of things pre-built into it. One thing that it does not come with is Playwright. So that's the only thing. And say, Ricardo, how do I install Playwright? If you don't have Playwright, all you got to do is come here and say, install Playwright in this project for me. If you want it to be even better, make sure that it is always available. That's it. Send that, Claude Code will install Playwright for you. Okay, I don't need to do that because I already installed it. Something else that I want to highlight, it's make sure that you are using a good model. You either use Opus or Fable. Right? Like, don't think that you can build a full Mendix application in Sonnet or Haiku. I wouldn't waste my time, okay? If you really want to be successful with this, use the best model available to you. The best model available to me today, by luck, is Fable. It was just enabled an hour ago, and that's why I'm recording the video, because I wanted to play with Fable. Okay, Fable is extremely powerful. So again, if you have access to Fable, use it. If not, if you have access to Opus, use that. Don't think that you will be able to build full agentic applications with all the whistles and bells using Sonnet or using Haiku. Same thing with ChatGPT. Use the latest ChatGPT if that's what you are using as a model. Okay, so I'm going to select Fable here. That's what we're going to be using for our build today. Okay, so a couple of things before I start, and I do this because I know this is going to be an issue later on. I'm going to come here to my project, and I'm going to create a module. And can Claude Code create modules? It can, but this is a special module. So I'm going to right click here, and I'm going to add a module called theme module. Okay, and Claude Code can create modules, but unfortunately it cannot come in here and flag that module as an UI resource module. And I want all my UI templates to go in it, so I'm creating it up front just to save time. Otherwise, Claude Code would ask me to do it later on. Something else that I'm going to do inside this module, I'm going to come here and do add order, and I'm going to create a layout in here. This is going to be a standard layout. I'm going to call this my let's see what we can call it, plant asset layout. Any name you want, right? Like so. This is going to be my layout, plant asset layout, and I'm going to press OK here. That's it. That's the only two prep things that I'm trying to do up front, you know, just because I want to make sure that I have that ready to go to save us time during the build. If you don't do this, Claude, Opus, or Fable will stop you at some point and ask you to come manually create a layout for him. Just to save time, I'm doing this up front here on our build. Let's see what else here. I will tell, please record to memory that our layout will be in the module theme module, and that the main layout page is called, oops, I messed it up. Let me type it again. Please record to memory that our memory module is called, sorry, please record to memory that our theme UI theme module is called theme module, and that our main layout page is called plan asset layout. There. Okay, I'm going to tell that to Claude. The harness itself, it has a memory, right? Like when it created, see Concord project memory, it already had a memory file. So what it's doing here, it's adding that information to the Concord memory file, to the harness memory file, saying, hey, this is persistent, you know, like, so whenever it needs the layout, it knows that it has to put it in here, and that the page for the layout is going to be this one. One last thing that I'm going to do here before we get started, I'm going to say, please record to this project claude.md. This is the instructions for this project, right? The following. Very important. And what I'm going to tell it to do, it's that say, hey, be brief. I'm paying for each word that the LLM says, that Claude Opus or Claude Fable says. Every word that it says, we pay for it. I'm not paying per token here. I have a monthly subscription, but it's still, I have a limit on how many tokens I can use per week. So I want to maximize that. I don't want it to keep blabbing and being very verbose. I want it to be objective. So I'm telling you to lead with the outcome, keep it simple, pause only when it truly needs my help, and say less. Okay, like one line beats 12. Like don't go crazy explaining things that I don't need. Most likely I might not even read very extensive explanations. So saying record that. Why it does that? Something else that's very important. You want to use Claude, Copilot, or uh, Codex with some sort of bypass permissions, either auto permission or bypass permission. Otherwise, it won't build anything. Imagine you have to build a full application and every step you have to authorize. You won't get anywhere. You will absolutely spend all day here just clicking approve, 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 approve. So I use Claude Code with bypass permissions or auto mode. Copilot has a similar mode called YOLO. You start Copilot / YOLO and it will automatically do it. Okay, so here it is, fully configured and ready to go. I'm gonna ask for a new session, clear, and we are ready. Okay, we have Fable. Fable so far so good, so I'm gonna give here 3 for it as a review, and we're ready to go. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come here to our design in Claude Design that I showed to you earlier, and I'm gonna say share and send it to Claude Code. I'm gonna send this to Claude Code. It's gonna create me this prompt here, to send it to Claude Code. So I'm gonna copy that. Actually, I'm gonna add it here. I can do it here on Claude, right? Like I'm gonna say, hey, build the application in this Claude Design project using Mendix Studio Pro. That's it. I'm gonna copy the prompt, and let's go to Studio Pro, and let's go into site Claude inside Studio Pro, and I want to paste it in here, and that should trigger it. For reference, it's 9:41 p.m. That's when I'm triggering the start of the project. So it's starting. First thing it needs to do is go get that design from Claude Design. I don't remember if I logged into Claude Design or not. If I haven't, it will ask me to log in into Claude Design from here. If I have logged in, it will just pull. It's already logged in, so it's already reading my design out of Claude Design and bring it in here. So this is almost like you going to Figma and getting your design in Figma and coming to build it. So here we go into Claude Design. And if you say, Ricardo, I don't use Claude, you can use other tools. There's one very good called Open Design, that works with any LLM. So you can use Google or Open Design. That's a very nice tool that you can use to do your design using Gen AI. It's much easier, much nicer to do design. I might record a video later on showing how I build that design using Claude Design. Very easy, very simple, and it can make your applications look amazing. One thing to highlight here is that I had that when I was doing the design, I started doing a Siemens design and then I changed it. So I was worried that it was using the wrong design. That's why I stopped here and I asked it to double check what design it was using. Okay, I wanted to make sure that it was using the dark design because it looked like it was using the older design, but it came back and said that it is using the correct design. So I guess we'll wait and see. It's about 53 minutes. It's still going. Something also to keep in mind is that our context, it's still pretty small, right? Like on the 1 million tokens context, we're still at 35%. And we built a lot. And I'll let it continue. At some point, I will, when we get close to 50% of context usage, I'll come here and I'll tell it uh, to start a new session. I don't let my sessions go beyond 50% context window because after that it starts to degrade. So keep an eye on it, and when it's close to 50%, you will see me doing another prompt here asking for a handoff so I can start a new session. Some issue here on my Claude Code. So let me see, try again. It's going. Definitely something happened in Claude Code for a few minutes there. One thing to show you is that it's going to Maia and delegating things to it. So Concord tries to see if it can do it directly with Studio Pro, but there are times that it might delegate tasks to Maia behind the scene. So there's integration. Like I said, it's not just a terminal, it has a lot built into it to make this whole thing work. As you can see here, I didn't start the application. Studio Pro automatically through Concord trigger to run the app. So it's trying to run the app itself, and let's see how it goes. The application is now running. I expect it to call Concord at some point. Oh, sorry, not Concord. It called, let me drag the window here. It dragged, this is the window. And this is why it's so important for it to see what it's building, because without seeing what it's building, there's no way it can see that this does not look anything like what we asked it with. So now he sees it, and that's that loop in action that I mentioned earlier, right? Like it's seeing what it built, the result. So you don't have to tell it that this doesn't look like what it needs to build. It has the design, and it's gonna try to keep building until this looks like the design. So let's see. I'll let it keep going, but this is, again, I'm not controlling anything in here. This is fully Claude Code trying to see what it built so far. See, this is it fixing the styling sheets behind the scene. So it placed all the objects there. Now it's working on the SCSS files and creating the styling and adjusting things behind the scene. Let me minimize here for a second so you can see it. See, it's starting to take shape. See another example where Claude Code told Studio Pro to stop the app and rerun it so it could refresh it. This is only possible because of that loop is closed. That's where that ability of controlling, starting, stopping, and running autonomous comes into play. Otherwise, every single thing in here, I would have to be doing it manually. I'm not doing anything. This is all GenAI doing it. Sorry, the Playwright screen was minimized. I put it in. This is Playwright. This is part of the Mendix app. And this is the Mendix app. And here we could probably find that dashboard. Let me see if I can find the dashboard and show you, right? Like it's formatting it, and just to show you, that's like, see if I can open it up. Here's the app, these are the dashboards that have been built, and it's putting all the cascading sheets and doing everything to make it look as close to the design as possible. Here's a situation where I probably will gonna have to intervene. I'm gonna wait a little bit, see if it takes care of itself, because there's a dialog box in there. I don't think that it can take care of itself, but let's wait a little bit, and if needed, I'll intervene. It's gonna keep going here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy this, close this so we can start again, and I'm gonna paste it in here, and I'm gonna give it to it what the problem is, in hopes that it will resolve itself. And it's not 100% touchless. There's times where you might need to intervene, but this has been building here for more than an hour, and I was watching the US and Bosnia soccer game while it was happening. As my context window reached 50%, what I'm gonna say here, after verify, check errors, run app, walk, please create me a handoff file and prompt for me to continue the build in a new fresh session. I'm gonna submit this here. At some point it's gonna hit it, and I wanna see if I can stop working on this session and continue on a new one. We're not too far away, but I don't like to run this stuff. Oops, I stopped it because I press enter here, trying to trigger this, and I end up canceling the run. So let me let it run first, and then I'm gonna submit my prompt. So it's running. Again, fully autonomous. It's running, and it's gonna open Playwright, and I'm gonna check its work. But I submitted there that after I verify that, there's more stages to it, and I want to make sure that we trigger the other stages in a fresh session. Don't like my sessions context window going beyond 52%, 50%. The more you have in your context window, the the less efficient AI gets, and more expensive too. Playwright's minimized. I want to bring it up so you guys can see it. Like, yep, it's looking pretty sharp. I personally could never build an application that will look like that. I'm not that great at doing UI UX. See here, it's checking the gradient, the tiles, checking absolutely everything against the design and trying to get as close as possible in Mendix doing the UI, And now it's writing the handoff. It's finished, so it's like, hey, let me give you the handoff so I can start a new session. Something I did not mention, like Claude Code doesn't show this by itself automatically. There's some comments that you can Google and ask how you add a context status to Claude Code. You can go in and set that up on your Claude Code CLI. To me, this is essential. I never let my sessions go beyond 50%. Some people just keep going. And once you hit 100%, it's not good. Okay, it's back. And it's give me done. The plant asset app is built, running, and verified end to end as Dark Cloud Code. What is live? Let's take a look. This is the design, right? Like here's the screen for me to report the faults. Let me see if I can open this outside of Playwright. When I open as an app, here's the whole app. It has all the things. Let's the dashboard. This is where we come in to report fault, and the whole screen here for me to come look up, and it populated with some sample data. I don't like this thing in here. I'm gonna probably ask it to fix it. This looks good, and it should be fully working in here. Let's see the triage box. Here's the triage box with the whole screen, schedule, and here are my requests, in review. So again, still some areas that it needs improvement. I can tell it, say, hey, the asset lookup. What I usually do, and that's what I'm gonna do in here to show you guys with stuff like that. I'll come here to my sniping tool. I'm gonna ask for 3-second delays, say new, and I'm gonna take a snapshot. And I'm gonna, actually I should have, let's try again. 3 seconds, new. I'm gonna get the whole thing. Oh my gosh. There. 1, 2, 3, there. I'm gonna get this here, and what I usually do, I come down here. Like if there's alignments like that, I'll say, hey, this drop down does not look good. And then I use Alt V. Alt V is not something from Concord. It's just what Claude Code used the CLI to do paste. And sometimes you have to wait or do more than once. That's why I'm doing this for you. In here, Alt V again. Let's see if it goes. There, we pasted the image, Please fix it. and it's gonna go fix it. While it does that, let me take a look at the project. I've been letting it go through. So again, I'll need to study it to fully understand. Domain model is here. It created domain models with non-persistent entities. Let me look a few microflows. It seed demo data. It create microflows to create data, right? Like, so when it executes, it populates the data for you. Triage, retrieve, dashboards, design mode, reject, schedule. Let me see my requests. It did give me some warnings in here. Let me go back and see if I can read them before this. Oh, here. Dark shell, report a fault pre-filled, analyze with Claude. The microflow composed the analysis from actual readings. Shows high pillar. I need to look and check this microflow, see if it's actually doing. Submit, create fault detail with the workflow timing. Triage inbox, approve schedule, build module. Two messages. There was some errors in there. And one gotcha's flow, add the origin ID, paste red prompt at the bottom for your fresh session. So I guess it created a handoff for me. Maybe there's more for it to build. Worth knowing. KPIs are computed from real data, 75%. Fleet health, not the mock-up. That's as expected. The AI deterministic rules shaped for a later Gen AI resource swap. Evidence upload is simulated. Spark lines are CSS placeholders. CSS. Security personas are off. I guess it did not do the security portion of it. You know. One leftover delete scratch page planet. Okay, so that's one leftover thing to do in here. It did not like whatever it did to fix that, so I'm gonna copy, paste it in here, and let it go fix itself. While doing that, let me go pull off the handoff and take a look at it. So I'm gonna go to my projects, plant assets, Concord. Where is it? Plans, handoff. I'm gonna open this up in it can be Notepad. So here's the handoff. Design sources, current state, working, right? Like have a working, report fault analysis, enumerations, microflows. This is all the details. Non-deviations, these are things that it changed, like there's no security. We need to put that in there. There's some missing UI elements. How one gotchas, like this is, it learns, right? Like from, so a couple of things that it learned. How to run and verify, prompt for the next session. You know, Concord the built-in asset, read the handoff first. So let me copy this prompt. Continue building. So I guess there's more that it can build. Here is sparkling. So this is what it needs to do that it hasn't done yet. A detail page, some UI enrichment, security personas for the roles, and switch like it's not doing a real Gen AI analysis, for the triage. So one of the prompts there is to fix that and do a real Gen AI triage. And I will do all that as soon as we finish making that adjustment in the UX. And I asked it to fix a specific issue. I could have just tell it, hey, go double check everything again against the original design, and it'll probably catch. I don't remember what I have on my original design, but not here and there. Let me see if I can pull up the original design in Claude Code. It's not this screen here. This is the original design. Let me see what I had for that drop down. I didn't have anything. That's probably why. Or I had something like this, which doesn't look proper. Okay, let's see what they did. It's still having issues here. So deploying. Let me copy this, paste it there. Feed into it. Sometimes it gives errors like that. It also logs an error in the console. So here's the error. I'm going to copy this from the message and I'm going to paste this here too. That way it helps. The more information you provide, the quicker you will resolve the problem, right? So put this in there. Hopefully that's helpful. Just doing a time check. We are 1 hour and 50 minutes into this building. I could never build a UI, UX or something like that myself in 2 hours. Never. Probably take me a month to build a UX like that. I was gonna say that Studio Pro didn't run, but I guess it noticed and it's trying to start it automatically. Let's see if it's gonna start or if it's gonna error out. There's definitely something causing a problem in there. It ran this time, which is great. It should automatically open Playwright and start to check on what it built. Let me keep an eye on Playwright. I don't know if Playwright is minimized or not. I think it's minimized. So let me see if it's this screen here. Yes, this is screen here. So calling Playwright, it will probably try to drive to that screen and check if the drop down got fixed. It got fixed there. See, from now on, I can do fine tuning, fine adjustments just by going there and asking it to make adjustments. Right? I don't think there's a lot of adjustments to be made now. I'm gonna try to trigger the next phase as soon as this finish. Let's take a look here. What was wrong? Two separate things in the Mendix combo box widgets were painting light mode visuals over the dark menu. So it fixed that. About the errors you saw, they repeated a log.e to ee log.txt id exception dialogs happens when a second run fires while launch is already in flight. The two launches fight over the log file. One of my retries caused exactly that. That collision caused a problem when page, right? Confirmed and is health again. All right. You can safely dismiss any lingering error dialog box to the Pro. I've written a recovery recipe and one run attempt only rule into the Concord handoff. See, this is again another thing the harness gives you. It's learning so that issue that it caused by triggering 2 Studio Pro runs in a one time. That probably won't happen again because that got learned and got saved. So this doesn't happen again, so that's good. So the recipe now knows that they should not do that. So again, my session is above my threshold that I like. I usually don't close the session here. I leave it open. I create a new one, come here, open another Claude session. And the reason I don't close it, sometimes I forget to copy or have issues copying. I can always go back here. I will only close after I trigger the new one. I'm going to put the prompt in here. See, like for example, I've ended up erasing because I copied the error message. So that's a good reason to have the prompt, even though the prompt for mine is right here. So I'm going to put my prompt, this prompt right here that I asked it to create. I'm going to put it on my new session, and we're going to continue the build. It's not over yet. I'm going to check Maia, see what's going on in there. Haven't checked in a long time. He did a lot in Maia, but what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create a new session here in Maia too, if I can. Actually, it's not letting me go in and start a new session in here, so let's forget and leave it there. I'm going to reset Maia too. It's enriching the UI. The asset detail page was missing like some things, and there's some sparkliness that are missing. So it's gonna enrich the UI and it's gonna create the security. I don't think it will create the security on its own because I don't think it has the tools to do it. Let's see. Opus would have told me to do it myself, but since this is Fable and again my first time trying with Fable, I'm curious to see how far Fable will drive this and if he'll find a way to do it himself, or if he's gonna ask me to do the security. Just completed 2 hours of building, exactly. It finished building that asset detail page. Now it's restarting the project automatically. It seems that it's still triggering multiple times the restart. Hopefully that's not gonna cause trouble. Let's see. All right, the app is running. I'm gonna bring in the Playwright screen to view. Let's see if it's gonna do what's gonna do in Playwright. Said that the browser was stale, so it killed the browser. Open a new one. Get rid of that so we can see what's doing. Here are the assets. Let's see if the details screen has been built. It's saying that it has the details button, but there's no visual for it. So I guess it's gonna fix it. I minimize Playwright so we can see what's going on. It's still running more than one time, the app, which is bad. Probably gonna adjust the instructions on the hardest on Concord so that it does not trigger more than one execute. Like, this is the beauty of it. We can go in there and adjust this. So future builds, this don't kind of thing doesn't happen, you know? Let me see if it's, I don't know if it's doing anything in here. No, don't look like it's not, it's still building. Now it's calling Playwright, so I'm gonna bring Playwright to the screen. You might need to refresh Playwright. Nope. This is the asset detail screen. Looks very nice. It's building now, so I'm gonna minimize Playwright. I'm gonna move this a little bit here so I can see a little better what it's doing. Oh, come on. I went to try to stop it from starting multiples. I think I made it worse. So I'm gonna let it do its thing. This is it testing it with Playwright. So I guess it was going. I was not seeing anything happening, so I did a status there. Something you can always check because it's processing for so long, for such long periods of time. Sometimes I don't know if it's going or not, so I just ask for a status update. Like I said, there's no tools to manipulate security. See here, it's coming back saying, hey, cannot do security configuration. It's still trying, right? Like it's trying all kinds of stuff to see if it can do it itself. Let's see. I doubt that it will be able to do security on its own. Fable is good, but not that good. So let's see. You should come back to me and tell me exactly what I need to do. Something very interesting here on 11.12, we now have tools that allows for marketplace install of modules. So it's trying to wire up all the modules to have a Gen AI agent, which is pretty complex task, like it's multiple modules. It started like trying to find Gen AI commands, and it should do, it's probably, let's see what it does here. Now it's looking for Claude API. One thing to notice here is that it's the design called for a Claude triage, you know, and Mendix have a connector for AWS Bedrock, but not one directly for Claude. So he went in automatically and wrote a whole REST call microflow to make a direct REST call to Claude and execute the triage using Claude, you know. Absolutely what I would do too if I was trying to do it with Claude and not AWS Bedrock, you know. So just calling that out, you know, so it can build REST calls. It's running the app. Let's see if you will call Playwright, and if you do, I'll try to bring Playwright to the screen for you guys. And it's late in here. I didn't even notice my context window is above 75%. It's almost 1 a.m. I should have started this earlier, so I'm gonna send here. It's almost 1 a.m. in here, midnight and 21 minutes. So I'm gonna pause this build for tonight, and I'll take it up tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna pause the recording here. I'm gonna pause exactly where we are. Just for my record, it's 2 hours, 57 minutes and 2 hours, almost 3 hours of recording so far. I'm gonna pause right here, and I'll continue tomorrow from this point on. Okay, let's get continued here. This is a new day. Morning of next day. It's saying that it could not do the security, which I expected to. Saying, hey, there's no way to do the security. Okay, and it's saying that I'm probably gonna have to do the security myself, you know. And let's take a look at, it said that it documented things in the handoff. So let me go open the handoff. I'm gonna come here to my project. And let's go into plant assets, Concord, and here under plants, let's open the handoff document. Let's take a look at it. So This is the update. Giving the prototype, giving me details, current state, working. Symptoms, this is all the stuff that's working. Couple of deltas, non-deviation, security. Exhaustively verified, security units are not writable by any tools. The stream is writable. User must first do in Studio Pro. So here's the steps that it's telling me that I need to do it in Studio Pro. I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna do this myself, and then we'll trigger this. So before we go do this, what I'm gonna do, since I know I have to do some stuff myself, I'm gonna come here to, before closing this session, I'm gonna say, can you give me the steps of what I need to manually do myself in Studio Pro? I will do those first and launch the new session after. Let's see if it gives me the direction on what it needs me to do. It definitely wants me to set up permissions. So here it is. Create two module roles. In the App Explorer, expand the plant asset care. So let's go to that module. Planted asset care. It's right here. And double click in security. On the modules roles tab, new. Oops, I think it's definitely missing a step in here. First thing we need to do is turn on security. There's no security turned on here right now. So I need to go here into Studio Pro. I have to turn on security. Let's see if we can use prototype demo. Okay, so let's do that. All right, now I should be able to see security in the module. And it's telling me to create two new modules. One for technician. And it's asking for another one for maintenance lead. All right. It's telling me to turn this on step 2. This should have been step 1. In the App Explorer, on the App Plant Asset, double click on security. Okay, so it's wanting me to go up here, right? Set it to prototype demo. I've done it. Now go to user roles. In here, create new user roles. And we want a technician. And the modules check. It's asking me to check new name technician. It's add dialog under module roles. Check plant as technician and system user, press OK, new maintenance lead. Yeah, this doesn't look right, these instructions here. I don't need to create them into plant asset here because the technician is already in there. And let me create the other one. Maintenance lead. So new maintenance lead, check. Okay, so check these two modules, press OK. All right. I'm pretty sure this is not it, so let me keep going here. It's saying to go to demo users here. Tick enable demo users, it's already ticked. Username Mara Voss, assign user role technician. So let's try that. Mara Voss technician. Let's create a new user. Jonas Keller. Maintenance lead. Press OK. Close the secure, press OK. Expect new consistency check, but microphone access net. Delete the scratch page. Let me first find this. Delete the plant asset care. Find plant asset care. Probe layout. Okay, so the name of the page is called probe layout. And right click on it and delete it. Optional. If you want live Claude call, open plant X. Let's open. It's telling me to go into logic. Find the Anthropic API key and paste my API key in here. I'm gonna pause the recording and then paste my API key. Start recording again. So now we have an API key. What else does it need? It says it needs a module. Let me see if there's a module in here. It's smart, it's getting Opus 4.8. That's good. Let's see here. Okay, when you prompt, it picks up from exactly where these points are and verified personally Playwright. Okay, so telling me to start a new session. Let's go in and start a new session and trigger this. Let me actually go get the path for that. Projects, plant asset, and Concord, plants, handoff. Right click, copy as a path, and execute. There. Let's trigger, see what happens. Okay, seems like it's finished. Let's take a look. Our handoff work is done. To its blocking point docs before final summary. Session result, what I did, allowed rows, allowed modules, did the default detail decision bar, rows, verified with Playwright everything. Your user role points at the wrong modules. Okay, so I need to go fix it in Studio Pro. In App Security, user roles technician. So let's go here, security. User role technicians. Untick the team module once. Untick the team modules. So we want to untick team module, and we want to untick the team module for machine. I want to tick planet care. Okay, so let's do this. And same here, like telling me to untick the team module. It's already done in here. All right. Is already gone, nothing to delete. Everything needs playwright verification. Okay. Can you check the rows to see if they are fixed? And continue. To help it out, I'm gonna copy the details, close this, and type it in here. Say, hey, the app failed to start. And I'll paste it in here and send it to it. Something else that I can also do to help it out is look at the console logs and see what's going on in here. This is probably that other issue where it's trying to run more than one time. Okay, let's check it in here. Roles fixed with one over grant. Both user roles now carry plan modules. So also got plan ticket, which would give Mara the decision bar. Also the role page still has no user role, so Jonas won't land on trying inbox. The startup failure root cause. So itself is still holding deployment. Yeah, that problem that's happening. Step 3, turn. Close Studio Pro completely. Reopen the project. Technician. So user role, technician. So let's go here, security. App security user roles, technician. Edit, uncheck, untick maintenance care. Oops, where I have to uncheck maintenance care? App security user roles, technician, untick plant care maintenance lead. Plant care maintenance lead. Okay, so plant care maintenance lead. Uncheck that. Got it. Navigate role-based home pages, existing role. Navigate role-based home pages. Navigation, role-based home pages. Existing role, try Angel box, select user role, maintenance lead. User role. Why do I put the user role here? It's the navigation target, okay. But saying that the runtime is still holding this tail writer, that I need to restart Studio Pro and all that. So let me do that. Okay. Let's see, actually. So I'm gonna do what it's asking. And don't press run, say go when done, and I'll clear status and verify. Can you write to memory to always issue only one run and wait at least 60 seconds before retrying? The F5. Okay, so can you write to memory to always issue only one run? F5 using Concord MCP. This is to avoid the current issue we are facing with so I'm telling it to record that to memory so it doesn't do that again, because clearly it tries to run Studio Pro, my app, too quickly, right? Like it doesn't wait for it to start up and run it again, and that is causing this problem. So seeing if I put something in memory there. Okay, so we recorded into memory. Let's close Studio Pro. Before, yeah, no, that's fine. We can start it from here. It's saying persisted to memory, Concord, same rules, markdown, handoff, start, gotcha, now queries the rule in line. Can you update the handoff to trigger or to continue? From here, I will restart the Studio Pro and use the handoff in a new session to continue from there. Let's see here. Handoff is up to date, clean pickup next session. Okay, so let's close Studio Pro. Let me close this screen here. Bring it in. My project. Plant asset. Open it up. Waiting for Studio Pro to open. Okay, I've restarted Studio Pro, moved it in here, to open in a different window. Let's restart Claude here. And I'm gonna do / resume to continue on that same session we were using. So here it is, same session. Actually, since we have a handoff, let's start a new one. So I'm gonna do /clear here, start a new session, and just paste the path, continue. Give you the path of the handoff. Let's see how things go. So Studio Pro restarted and it's continuing. I think it's logging in. It's logging in as Mara Voss. I guess it has access to the demo users and passwords. You know, it's getting an error there about a microflow, which we'll see. And that's why, again, the loop, I can't stress enough that having that loop saves you time, because it can see. I don't have to tell it that it's getting an error with that. It should be able to just see it. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the analyze with Claude worked, you know, so it did a REST call, went to Claude and did the analysis and gave the details there. I was running something in a different screen, and Fable noticed that Studio Pro was not getting the focus, so the F5 to restart the app was not working, and it automatically brought Studio Pro focus to the front and restarted the app. And now it's still working here. It's probably going to start Concord. No, not Concord, sorry, Playwright, and start testing. I'm going to open Playwright so we can check. You know, this is still the old Playwright session. It's starting to try to drive Playwright. It refreshed it. I'm gonna ask it to redesign that login screen. Doesn't look good at all. Can you include a new redesigned login screen that matches our overall styling in the next handoff? I did not remember to design a login page, so I'm asking it here to create it. It might not look as nice as if I had designed it in Claude design, but it should look good enough. Let's see if it'll do it for us. Let's take a look here. Done. Verification passed. Live Claude confirmed and polished items are built and verified. App left running. Both your security ticks were already in place. KPIs, no decisions. Okay. Live Claude analysis works. Built this session dashboard, toasts, everything. Your pop-up expected that you were signed in as an MX admin, which no plan carries user role for Luca. Yeah, I don't know if this is correct. We're gonna might have to push back a little bit on this. Texting things for you. Kills the only remaining error dialog with Mara's project. Design login page is in the handoff as the top Item for next session. Router red scoped. Keeping Mendix off. Accessible. Handoff and project memory are fully updated. The next session can start from the pasting prompt at the bottom of the handoff. Okay, so let's go open up that handoff and take a look at it. I'm gonna go to my projects and let's go to plant asset and Concord plans, and let's take a look at the handoff. I want to make sure here this is all the status. Continue the plant asset care. Everything's verified. Standing is the Atlas core tick. I'll say if I've done it and verify the login. So it does want me to do something manually. Let me check what it wants me to do manually. KPI now count build, evidence upload. Let me ask it directly instead of looking at the handoff. Are there any manual steps that I need to take before we launch the next session? And also let me look at the app. Yeah, I'll tell that this is not expected. Let me see if I can switch users. I can't see the switch users. Okay, I have to tell it that Jonas, Maria Voss. I think it's administrator. So some problems here. All right. Open project security user roles and tick Atlas in both technician and maintenance lead. So let's do that. Saying to come here to security, user roles, and tick Atlas core. So let's go to technician, edit. I think I have to come here, Atlas core, and check user. And let's do the same thing for maintenance leader. Marketplace, Atlas core, and check user. If you want the tick for the administration to go out, tick the plant asset care modules onto administrator. Okay, so these are all right. Two things to add to the handoff. The Mendix user switch is not visible. See if I have a screenshot of it here. I don't know if I did. Alt V to paste it in Claude Code, and you have to wait a little bit, and sometimes you might even have to click to do it more than once, just so you know. And this is not a Concord issue, it's just Claude Code CLI issue. So that's one. Let's put a bar in here, and I am getting a pop-up on, let me see what user that is. I believe that that's Mark Voss. Mara Voss. Let me see if I can find a pop-up and paste it in here. So I'm select press OK and close this and Alt V here. So I'm continue here. I went in and copied the prompt from the session, and it added that it needs to fix the user switch, and it said that the problem that we are facing, it was what we already fixed. I manually fixed it in the security, giving permissions to Atlas. So this should be, I think, the last portion of the build. Let's see. I have an upcoming meeting that I have, so I'm going to ask it to pause, and I'm going to pause the recording and continue. So it's pausing. That gives me a chance to go attend my meeting, and I'll come back here in a second and continue. Okay, so we are continuing here. It's asking us to trigger a new session. So is that it? Okay, no, it paused. That's what it was. It paused because I asked it to pause. Resume the security you asked for has been done. Let's take a look here. All 5 items done, all verified, the app is running. Localhost, no errors, no dialog box, security ticks works, login page redesign, the image switch restyled, the two fault deleted. Let's take a look. It does look good. MX admin 1. It looks really good. This is insanely good. I could never design an app that looks like this myself if it was not for AI. Let me see. This doesn't seem to be working, these filters. Yeah, the filters here are not working. Let's take a look here. Dashboard. I think this is working. Yep, it's all working. Everything working here. Can check, descriptions, temperatures. Can put it in anything in here. Upload images. I can analyze this with Claude. Let's try that. Conveys degrading, indicating audible whine. Schedule control shutdown, so confidence 86%, 4 hours. Severity high. Let's submit this report. This is for the conveyor CV9. All right. It has been submitted. It's sitting waiting to be approved. Let me see my request. It's right here. Conveyor. Okay. Can approve, schedule. Can request more information. It's in review. Let's approve and schedule. Did not like this screen, so let me copy that, and let's go back in here. What did I do? This is not the right one. Did I mess something up? Why is this locked in here? Okay, so I'm confirm and schedule this. Now let's take a look at the scheduler. It's right here, scheduled, I think it doesn't have the schedule details yet. Something probably needs to be developed later. Yeah, this looking extremely good, It is also missing one thing here, so let me open up. Very important. This is the logo of my team. Don't want to drop down my team without a logo, so let me go in here. Open up the design. And let me copy this portion here. And I'm gonna create a prompt to fix it. I've placed a widget for that logo. That logo is animated, so I'm gonna give it the path of the widget. Like if I come here to the widgets, let me do it by date, see if I can find it. I just dropped in a logo for one source, so I'm gonna say, hey, if you need, there's a custom widget that might implement the logo for you. I can do this as by the way. so it doesn't interrupt what it's doing. Let's see what happens. That means it's gonna trigger something in parallel. That's probably not a good idea on a recording because I usually don't do this, but not with Mendix, but let's see. You guys will see the results with me. Oh wow, I haven't checked this. This looks amazing. Okay, let's take a look. It fixed. Saying fix the filters. They were never. It was decorative. The pop-up didn't be fix that. 2 notes. I found CV test fault had been numbered. Record and my early draft shifted. I renumbered it. Took screenshots for us. Let's see here. That, by the way, did not seem to have worked because I couldn't click on the go. Can you add this team logo for me? Let me see if I can find that image. I have a widget that implements that animated logo. It can be found here if it helps. Let me put it in. Also, this screen is an eyesore. The text in it is not aligned. It's relaying. Can you fix that? Let me see what this screen was. Instead of just saying this screen, is always good to give it. First, let's check this. Pretty cool. Now let's go check. Everything here seems to be fine. Okay, this is it, the asset and the evidence. I'm gonna paste an image that I took before. Just make sure that it's the right one. Actually, I'm gonna take another one just to be on safe measure here. Let me bring it in my sniping tool. New. All right, this is the last thing I'm doing. After that, we're gonna call it quits. I think by now you guys have a good idea of what Gen AI can't and can't do, and you saw from beginning to here, I could keep going forever here and building amazing things. It's a different way of building, but I think these are the last 2 steps I'm gonna do. Okay, team, time to call it. I think this is it. Let's take a look. Let me log in. Love how we put it, my logo in. That was not what's supposed to happen. That's for sure. But I'm not gonna fix it. Yeah, that's okay. I think I could if I wanted to, but don't see the point in going there to fix these things. I think it's very rich, and it shows very well, what it can do. I think there's problems, of course, there's problems, right? But it's much easier to develop this way by going in, building and asking it to change than I think it was in the past. Some less thoughts, if I were to do this again, I would probably have done a superpowers brainstorm in the beginning and do more planning. Like it built a workflow manually by hand, which is still how a lot of people develop it in Mendix. But if I had told it, hey, use the Mendix workflow, it would have done it that way, So that's something that absolutely I could have given more details, and yeah, there's a couple of things that I could have given them better instructions in the beginning, that if I was gonna do this a second time, I would have done it better. But the idea here was just to show you that where we are, right? I hope you saw that the only thing that I really had to do in Studio Pro was the security, and that was not a lot. Is it fully automated where I give it a prompt and it builds the app at the end and it's exactly like I want to know? It's not, but it's getting pretty close, It's absolutely getting pretty close. And everything that it created, you can check, right? You can visually check all the pages, all the microflows, everything that was created, right? You can either visually check or come in here and adjust it yourself. So I think if I were to build this, oops, I did something wrong in here. If I were to build this in Claude Code alone, at the end of the day, I would end up with hundreds of thousands of lines that I don't know what was used, and I couldn't, there might be security issues, there might be flaws in there. Here, I end up with pages, microflows, all visual that I can visually come in and take a look and check and even change, I think we came a very long way from the days where I first was able to generate a domain model in Studio Pro, which was a few months after ChatGPT was launched. A long, long way. It built the whole user interface, a user interface that I absolutely don't have the skills to do it. And another area where this type of solution shines, it's when you have very complex projects. We haven't seen it in here, and I even mentioned, but it added all these modules for us, right? To be able to do things. It came in here, added modules. It made web calls. It made REST calls. It did a lot of. Not. I thought it had added. Maybe I'm mistaken. I thought it had added a module for us. It can add modules as needed. It did build the REST call to do the Claude analysis automatically, an agent, right? If you want to do anything agentic, you can just ask it and it will build it. Again, something else that I could have planned ahead a little bit better if I told it to use the existing Mendix modules and leverage, for example, OpenAI. It wouldn't have gone the REST way. It went through the REST way because it saw that I don't have, I saw it searching for a module and they searched for a Claude module. Mendix doesn't have in the marketplace a Claude module. We have an AWS Bedrock one. So it's assumed that I wanted to use Claude because that's what the design said, and went and implemented that way. So could I have done it much better in the process of asking what I wanted? Absolutely. And I did mistakes. I purposely didn't cut anything. I recorded everything from beginning to end, so you can see the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that, and I don't believe anybody will ever watch this video that is this long, but I'll put it out there. Thank you for checking it out. Take care.